Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
So I need everyone to breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. That's money. And money is currency, and currency is something of value used as an exchange for goods. Your breath is something valuable that you exchange for being able to live good. So be careful how you spend it, how you lend it. Be cautious trying to resuscitate someone else's purpose, so someone else can purchase their dreams without giving you the wind you need to make your own dreams set sail. So don't let your air be for sale. It may cost you a pretty penny. If you do, it may cost you your life. So just breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Never be without your money, your breath, your air, so they can catch wind of your wins. Every inhale and exhale is a victory, a gust of glory, a whoosh of wisdom. Breathe in the fact that you are fantastic. That's how you get them, because attitude determines your altitude. So be an advocate for your aviation. Live life to the fullest. Spend your life breathing like you're trying to balance your budget. Because everybody won't earn your air. Spend it wisely, because we don't know how long we got, and you ain't got time or the air to be wasting. Walk in the room like there's a certain air about you. Even if you hear them saying they're the realest ones breathing, that must mean that they're holding their breath. And I apologize. That's not mine. That's from 2 Chainz. But if you're not about your breathing, it's time to change. They say money can't buy you happiness, but you show them that breathing can. So you breathe, you breathe, you breathe like you're trying to stack your paper. Get your money, man, and take every Bitcoin of your consciousness along with your purpose. Let it circulate in your bloodstream, because your body is a financial institution. So you better start investing in stock options of meditation, because breathing's a full-time job. I heard the pay is pretty good. And when you slumber, call it residual income. When you breathe and you make money while you're sleeping, that's your money working for you. So breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, because air is currency. So breathe like a billionaire. My bro Jabu once told me that love is 2 crazy people trying to figure it out. And people, for some reason, keep trying to figure love out. And that's crazy to me, because doing the same thing, expecting different results, is called insanity. So next time someone say, I love you, you should respond by saying, I delirium you too. Because you got to be insane in the membrane to always wonder what somebody else is doing every second of the day when they're not around you. Completely psycho to have the same person on your mind all the time. A basket case to think you can't make it until you see their face. And now I realize that I'm crazy too, because I be doing that. And I don't know if loving her drove me crazy, or if I was already crazy. Or maybe crazy attract crazy. Maybe we both enjoyed the taste of toxic. Maybe we both were 2 lovebirds that flew over the cuckoo's nest 3 times. And it seems in relationships that I'm colorblind, because I don't know what red flags look like. Maybe she is too. Maybe she couldn't see mine. Because how you gonna be in love with someone for a year and 6 months, and for 6 months of that year and 6 months you were separated for a total of 6 months? It just doesn't add up. And love don't either. It's always subtracting. You sometimes lose a part of yourself, and that's crazy. Because our love with hands on the handlebar of a roller coaster that was about to crash, and we smiled like everything was going to be all right. And that might sound like mania, but our embrace was a straitjacket hug, but it was love. And for you to make love work, you got to be crazy. And that's crazy. We were Mad Hatters loving the trip down the rabbit hole. We were hearts held in hand running through barbed wire. Our love was a broken record, and we were the only ones that understood the words, like Al Green when he said that love will make you do right, and love will make you do wrong. And we kept doing wrong. But it was a song we enjoyed singing, a sweet melody of mental illness, a harmony of hysteria, because we kept living like it's the edge of tomorrow on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. And it seems every day our love was a cliffhanger. And every week, we kept saying we don't know how much longer we can hold on. So either she would let go or I would let go. We kept falling in each other's arms. That's crazy. Because we kept doing it. And if you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, that's called insanity. But it seemed like lunacy was our love language. Breakups to makeups, leave, but feeling like we know we ain't going nowhere. And that was the problem. It seemed like we wasn't going nowhere till she was actually gone. And a huge part of me didn't feel normal. And that's crazy. We are the hardwood floors, the bookshelves, and the books containing new thoughts and classic feelings. The laced curtains, the fireplace, the wine glasses, so each kiss is a toast. We are the incense burning to create an aura of love. We are love spiraling around the womb. We are the fragrance of perseverance, seeping into the walls. We are the walls that create many rooms. We are the rooms decorated with new beginnings. Picture frames filled with family portraits. When we're together, we make family. This is how the frequency of connection works. This is how love beckons us to form, to be foundation, to make the steps, to take the steps. We are the front door made to open minds. We are the front and back porch because we like it both ways. We are the roof catching teardrops from clouds. We are buckets catching teardrops from leaks in the ceiling because no roof is perfect. So we are occasionally allowed to do that. We are every nail and every brick imperfectly placed around the foundation. We are even the bathroom, because sometimes we got to flush out what we don't need. We are the stove, the sink, the refrigerator, the dining room table, a place where our souls can prepare and consume. We are the carpet in the living room with a candle lit and the television showing an episode of SpongeBob, but we are every light bulb that may not be screwed in too tight, but we give each other the light we need. We are all we need because we are home.
Grab your friends, nod, bow, circle left, then right, grab your partner, do-si-do, I don't know. The point is having fun. I mean, the point is to dance. The point is to forget the Charleston, turn off that jazz. The point is to stop dancing that nigger jig. Our white kids are classier than that. Got to point them in the right direction. My best friend asked why they spent more time teaching her to square dance than how to do her taxes. She's surprised when I tell her, if you dig deep enough, American roots always lead to racism. I tell her Henry Ford, when not building cars, was into breaking down blacks and Jews, believing that jazz music was being used to sway white children into a life of debauchery. Because if you listen to jazz, you will know that you will become an alcoholic, or worse, sell your soul to the devil to become a guitarist. So the devil went down to Georgia, or probably more accurately, DC, and lobbied for square dancing to be part of the PE curriculum. You know, sidestepping racism is this country's most popular dance. It's no surprise that I never learned how to square dance. But once, they tried to teach me how to shuck and jive. Funny, it still began with a nod and a bow. Told I better stay in line, watch my step. 2 left feet will leave you with no left feet or no feet left, defeated, the way they always want others to feel. It's their own dance with destiny. So grab your partner, do-si-do, and it all continues on.
Just crazy enough to work. Quarter in my pocket next to an ace and a joker. I'm not playing with a full deck. That's why they call me a loser. But just 2 cards is all you need for an audience with the queen. Perfection is an illusion. Prayers written on paper in my purse that I rehearsed for Her Majesty. I am the burden of kings past down to peasants, the unholy duality of hell and heaven. 777 meets 666, a gambler's love story after hitting the slots in a fifth. Roll the dice for a chance and a check. But before we play spades, take the jokers out the deck.
For I'm experiencing major struggles, a seismic shift created by love to entangle my inner demons. The supreme alchemist works in my eyes and hearts so I can see the dawn through this dark maze of anxieties and despair. Fear and loneliness sing sad songs as insecurity and uncertainty hang on to the windows of my future, me calling on hope to shift this crucible of fire. Yet all is as it should be. The bud of faith will sooner or later ascend on the citadel of the soul. For I am the sons and daughters of tomorrow's sun, glowing within 1,000 beams, yet to remove the veil, casting aspersions on this peerless jewel which I am, the songbirds of perennial freedom. Just as summer's the precursor to winter, just as summer's the precursor to autumn, so too a dark winter will ultimately fade in the unfurling magnolias of spring. Doesn't the ashen clouds eventually make way for the silvery sky? Isn't the darkness an antecedent to the glorious daybreak? And the shooting stars dance, knowing that sunset will herald the sunrise on another golden morn. I am in chains, seeking my flame as in the allegory of the cave, trapped in my self-created tunnel of shadows. Yet the beloved beckons, the light of the beyond who yearns for me, like the prodigal son to return home. The breeze of solace embraces me, pierces through my mistiness of sorrows, cascading rays of an illustrious lantern, glowing in the dark, entreating, go on, go on. Hope chants verses of a candescent ray, diligently pruning my mind of cobwebs. I need only to let go of the vice of negativity, created by demonic flares I see, ears tinted by the venom of toxic fumes hover in the media, while the corporate narcissists smile all the way to their foreign banks on my account. Alas, like most humans, my government are fallible too, yet even while I scan the thoughts like an X-ray machine, searching for the unlearned lessons of war, love, in its mercy, continues to coax my fallen heart with the sweet songs of sunflowers, whispering with Satchmo, it is still a beautiful world. Mother Gaia cries at the feet of my today's demise, yet waltzes upon the bosom of my distant realities, knowing that victory will ultimately dawn. It is not unusual for a bride to be cheerful before the wedding feast. The light of love works its unfathomable mystery, and I know I'll be okay. I fade into a seed and take roots, sprouting into a plant, a tree with branches and foliage, offering my flowers, blossoms, and fruits to the impoverished, so I too may love.
In February of 2023, the Eurasian owl Flacco escaped his longtime prison in the Central Park Zoo. They claim owls in the wild live only 10 to 20 years, but an owl in captivity can live up to 60. Imprisonment was for his own good. Flacco wasn't meant to fly. Said they never raised him to be a free owl, only a representation of what a wild animal is. Wingspan of 6 feet made him one of the world's largest animals, created to reach the heavens in elevations of almost 16,000 feet. But in Manhattan, it only took 775 feet to knock him down. Caged for so long, his wings forgot what they were made for. Too wide to be spread between narrow blocks and streets. Between buildings and smog, forgot the capability built in their feathers. Even in his short-lived freedom, he was caged. The Wildlife Conservation Society announced they found enough rat poison and pigeon virus in Flacco's system to kill him, even if he hadn't died searching for freedom in the concrete jungle. The vandal who damaged his exhibit jeopardized the safety of the bird and is ultimately responsible for his death, they said, not the ones who caged the animal. His body will remain at the museum so that others may see what will happen should you try to break free of the artificial trees. Humans have been putting living things in cages since before Christ, as early as 490 BC. When we think of cages, we often envision a restricted space enclosed by bars. Since then, mankind have become experts at making cages attractive. putting animals in cages for entertainment and calling them zoos, putting fish in tanks for decorations and calling them pets, keeping bird in cages to serve as a music box, even putting people in cages for forced labor and calling them criminals. In 1994, cages started to lose their bars. We called them cells. And though the first few versions weren't so attractive, they grew to be bigger and more colorful, more responsive. We never imagined the cage would become a screen, weapons of mass distraction, brains become minefields for attention, exploding for dopamine, our thoughts locked up in an intangible prison, radiation, the prison guards, social media, the only visitors allowed. The cells in our hands become more important than the cells in existence. The more we voluntarily give up our attention, the less we have to rage against the machine, becoming numb to control. Apps, the apprehenders of imagination, sneaking out for a quick daydream, to remember the freedom of creating an original thought before censorship became a dictator. Fingers no longer made to touch lovers, necks permanently crooked to look down. Escaping doesn't even make it to thought. Seems the only intelligence left will be artificial. This is what a modern day prison has become. They will kill you in more than one way and deem your need for freedom the murderer. Say you live longer in captivity. Don't bother trying to use your wings. Just keep looking down at the screen.
Man made a system built on instability, technology, and indoctrination, a perpetuated imbalancing that has us walking in circles. No wonder we've openly lost our way. Our footing is swallowed up in the hourglass grains. For generations to come, the making of family is a misunderstood scripture. And so prophecy and holy doctrinity are misinterpreted. The way mother's knees kneeled, frontal lobe to the ground, you'd have to know Faith's footprints were at her threshold, comforting her subordinate shoulders every time she prayed. Every day she parented without a counterpartner. Every wise word spoken out of her lips that may have missed one ear while escaping the other. So there must be a long line of fathers somewhere, waiting their next assignment to be printed to scrolls. Because red pens tacked as regional indicators could paint a map of broken homes. Some say parental responsibility, masked in servility, is some kind of mill-traded affliction, some sort of psychological dysfunction, habitual to how a Black man runs away. Could be fertilized eggs of Black women stake Black men's arms for crucifixion, because there are more recorded separations than there are bonded families. Though mouthfuls have spoke of a platform in unity, which we intend to survive, we apparently hide behind the etched in stones with our backsides towards the commandments. How can you subconsciously script Jesus as God's bastard son and not understand the significance of a Black father's absence, and in the same breath breathe out the words, "A woman can't raise a man"? Yet humanity was made to find a way back to God. I know there must be a long line of Black fathers somewhere, waiting resurrection in a cursive feather pen, one who'd reclaim their actions with a calling from the Most High. For so many dads have been cursed in vain, and if God has 99 attributes, how can he have but one name, when everything that he is can be called upon? Creative, cultural, beneficent, merciful. Maybe I'm one of God's favorites. The way he uses me, the way he trusts in me, the way he allows me to see his work. It's been fascinating to find in other people what I could not find in myself. Then I realized the reason he gave me vision, the observation he kept over me, If not for his glory reflecting in others, I may not have been able to identify with his illumination in me. The battles I fought, he didn't allow me to quit. The purpose of my pen and heart bout weighing, the gifts granted me to be a parent present in time. And I thank him for not placing me on a lengthy line of lost fathers waiting to be reassigned.
Hello, and thank you for calling Melanin Matters. If you think you have reached this number in error, please check the number and try again. Otherwise, press star and you will be transferred to our directory. Beep. Press 404 for Martin Luther King Jr. Press 1204 for Fred Hampton. Press 912 for Stephen Biko. Press 706 for Sonia Massey. Press 110 for Tyree Nichols. Press 221 for Malcolm X. Press 223 for Ahmaud Aubrey. Press 313 for Breonna Taylor. Press 226 for Trayvon Martin. Press 713 for Sandra Bland. Press 525 for George Floyd. Press 924 for Marcellus Williams. Press star pound for all school massacres. Beep. We're sorry, but the martyr you are trying to reach is no longer in service. Press 0 to speak with Jesus on the main line so you can tell him what you want. Beep. Your estimated wait time is maybe too late minutes. Disclaimer. He may answer, but just know that only God's will be done in your circumstance. Callers tend to have similar outcome. Death on repeat, guaranteeing #fame posthumously, making martyrdom a reality. Beep. We're sorry, but we're experiencing extremely high call volume at this time. If you would like to hold your place in line, press 1 and we will return your call as soon as possible. Beep. Thank you. I see the number you are calling from is HASHTAG. If this is correct, press 1. If not, press 2 to leave a different number. Beep. We're sorry, but all circuits are busy at this time. Please retry the number and call again. Thank you for calling Melanin Matters. Goodbye.
Democracy means that freedom is an action verb, not a common noun. And, they say that actions speak louder than words, but I don't even feel like our acts are being heard. And no matter how hard I grind, I still find myself screaming, sit down, because I got something to say. Now, I'm not just here to entertain. I'm here to share some pain. But don't sweat. I'm not just going to toss it on you like some drunken stepfather who needs 40-ounce crutches as he limps his way through life trying to find his self-esteem 1/5 at a time. Because you see, that's not pain. That's just sober remorse for the last time that mom spent 3 days on the couch barely conscious because he thought he'd try to combine equal parts of alcohol, testosterone, bleach, and the lack of having the first clue how to just reach out and touch someone. But I digress. Because I'm here to share some pain, not just to entertain like some after-school special where the deadbeat dad comes back to become the hero that all dads are supposed to be. That is, when he's not too busy trying to find himself in the snatch of some catch that probably should have been thrown back anyway. But damn if he don't stop his fishing, not even long enough to recognize that the bait that he's using, well, it's the very same thing that he's afraid of losing. And there ain't no Hims products out there on the market anywhere that can help you grow your self-respect back. But again, I digress. Because, you see, I'm not just here to entertain. I'm here to share some pain, like the pain of having to punch that time clock when you'd really rather be punching your supervisor right in the jock because he's getting paid 6 figures just for telling you how you're punching that clock wrong. And how the fuck can it be wrong anyway when the only reason you're punching, the only reason you're cussing, the only reason you're fighting shit, the only reason you're even trying is just to ensure that your kids at least eat. Because they never do seem to get that treat of having mommy and daddy home at the same time. And shit, just having that home is enough to make you want to punch more than that clock, but you're still in shock because that late payment and that bank statement, they're still sitting there in your inbox. I don't care how many times you try to scroll past them, reminding you that you didn't buy your piece of the rock. Oh no, you're just leasing. But that's not really pain either. That's just frustration from a lack of salvation because your spirit's on south of the duration and you ain't got yourself stuck in some fucked up situation because you were scandaled into following someone else's American dream. No, I'm talking about real pain. Like the pain of having to face that it seems like there just ain't no place where we can go anymore where we can find a Crazy Horse or a Malcolm X or a Cesar Chavez or even a Norma Ray for that matter. No, they're still trying to tell us that our heroes are supposed to be cops. Bad boys, bad boys. Well, what you gonna do? Well, we've already seen what you're gonna do when they try to usher in the new Confederacy. But, you know, I'm of the belief that they're just waiting for the dust to bowl us over so they can swoop on in and gather up all the pieces. All the while they're invoking Jesus. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, y'all, but ain't nobody died on a cross for all this shit. But if you sit down, I said sit down, and pay attention to what's going on in dimly lit poetry rages, then you might find that we all have our own double crosses to bear. And if we could just learn how to share, then maybe everywhere would hear the word. Now, this word, it ain't about misused messiahs. And it ain't about just another bloody war. And it certainly ain't about the masses just sitting up on our asses hoping that somebody else finds the cure. No, this word is about the completion of a circle back to the way that things are supposed to be, naturally. And I believe it was even one of the colonizers who said that every decent country needs one every 70 years or so. Now, I ain't no math teacher, and I don't know about you, but it seems like we're about 275 years overdue. Now, I know we can't all just hop on our horses and ride all the way back to the promised land, so I invite you all to join in this circle and share your pain. And don't restrain and don't sit down while I'm up here telling you to shut up, because it's time for us all to get up, stand up. You know it. Stand up for your rights. Come on, get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight, because the renegades are the people with their own philosophies. They change the course of histories. Everyday people like you and me. Everyday poets like you and me. Every day. That's revolution.
Can't say much about the lovable bear except he captured the hearts and minds of imperfect humans. The stories ensued, telling of the tales of his struggles to get his daily sustenance, his beloved honey. His friends assisted him while living with psychological disturbances manifesting as fears, hyperactivity, and depression. Himself, the sticky sweet, holding it together with his mate, Christopher Robin, believed to be the author of his childhood adventures with his trusty bear. My mind goes there, to the scenes in the woods where the pastels of the sky overlooking the desired tree, holding the nest filled with bees, and Winnie bravely climbing, inserting paw into swarm, and golden goop dripping, filling hungry mouth with elixir from gods. Bees, unaware of being swallowed, poke around in bear caves, stinging, until mouth opened, releasing victims. His friends tried to warn him of danger, but he cannot be swayed. The owl in the mix must represent the well-known absence of parental guidance, the common thread in Disney tales. Could this be an adult story after all, illustrating what is to come for the young boy? The consequences of proceeding without caution, never giving up on goals, to keep an eye on the prize, to accept and love your friends no matter what their idiosyncrasies, and the grown-up struggles of survival that await Chris. A warning to put away childish things, the undesirable trade-off known to every man or woman, and left no other choice to keep them alive, but to document his childlike dreams. An ode to honey. I do love a heaping teaspoon melting in my steamy tea mug with a squeeze of fresh lemon. I do not use the fancy type delicate china with saucer to catch the drippings or bag. Tea bagging has another connotation these days, but that is a different poem. For now, we will keep our minds focused intently on the constancy of the golden medicine. Yes, it was the practice for centuries. The properties of this miraculous sticky gift that holds the ability to heal a body. Its properties contain an ancient remedy and is still used as such today. I once watched a friend give her child no boundaries as she let her scoop out repeatedly uncontrolled amounts into her bratty little mouth, essentially almost emptying the jar while we suspiciously eyed each other. She looked at me as if to say she was waiting for me to tell on her, and I did no such thing, but returned the look back to her. I knew she was going to finish it no matter what anyway, and as with anything sweet as honey, one has to be mindful of the consequence of overindulgence.
Loyalty kissed my mother's womb, going forward to shape my character, environment, and culture, relationship to peers and country, my steadfast devotion to duty, to partnership in love and tenacity. Purpose has always driven me in life, ever since I awoke intuitively to the knowledge of self, recognizing that I am a soul here to gain the experiences of duality, of joy and sorrow, striving to become one with its innate divinity, its true source. Belief was the light of hope which kept me moving even in the abyss of my loneliness. It kindled my trust in doctrines before manifesting itself as faith in the fire of my experiences. Progress is the voice of evolution that showed, like the Wright brothers, that one can always soar higher. Like the phoenix, that there is no limit to human experiences, only a continuous or self-transcending journey of growth. Excellence was the way I paid attention to detail, like a fine wine, to ensure that every aspect of its aroma, taste, and environment is amenable to all, not to mention the decor, ambience, energy, and affinity of the surroundings. Pride divine is a well-deserved state for which I toiled, like bringing up children, watching with the joy of the heart as they surpassed me in conduct, excellence, and charisma. Unity walks with me like my favorite flowers, each being aware of their own strengths, not competing, but blending harmoniously to create an exquisite garden of radiant love. Gratitude is my very life breath. It rightly is my legacy from the truth eternal, sustaining me in my darkest hours, like it does the night, whispering to my soul that love is all. Glory comes in guises, carrying the attire of leopards and snakes. I start with status, fame, wealth, and power, wearing a crown on my head and a scepter in my emotions, burdened by the elephants on my shoulders, until I ascend to the grandeur of eternal love. Faith is the silent, reassuring voice that guides me, adding charmed flavorings to my experiences, like grace, with such inner culinary genius that I never doubt the joy of its delight. These shades of luminance inspire me, keeping me spirited and feeling totally alive. They kindle my courage, giving me the strength and resilience to pay attention to my self-worth, soaring on magnanimity and commanding respect. Now I feel so alive. I rise in the morning and smell the Cafe Arabica con leche, being already vibrant and receptive like tulips to the healing rays of the sun. I see the shafts of love's mercy even as she dances in the unfurling magnolias and exquisite white lilies of spring. The glint in my lover's eyes roam, never failing to greet the shining star of my heart's temple. The trees laugh in their abundance, even as nature comes alive in a munificence. We walk through the grove, our hands clasped and transmitting the warmth of love's energy to our souls. We hear the stream's melody, even as the song bearers create symphonies, and the fertile earth massages our feet with deep affection. Yes, I am alive in my shades of luminance. Here everything pulsates, and the universe glows with luster like rows of golden lanterns lining its path. I am free, basking in the light of my beloved, and my soul sings and whispers gratitude to the temple of the sun.
First, a micro poem, brand new haiku. Land acknowledgement to all the captive labor on the Black hand side. When he called me out my name, I took a solemn oath, made a promise. I gave warning that I would whoop the politics out of it. He forgot. I whooped Patterson back to the Middle Age for such disrespect. Ernie Terrell could not find my name in his heart, so I tenderized his ribs, played so much percussion on his torso, he thought he was back in the motherland. What's my name? My name is ancestors mapped the seas that their descendants were shipped across. What's my name? My name is I wish you would call me that one more time. What's my name? My name is 15 rounds of the prettiest combat. For his insolence, my name became domination, gladiator, champion, after being called boy, nigger, color, troublemaker, Muslim, American, traitor, seditionist. These fools didn't even know what to put on the boxing license I fought for the right not to take brown lives, for the right to ply my trade, to apply these hands to any chump who dreamed he could take a round, let alone my dignity. I'm here to wake him up, make him apologize, call me resolute, call me warrior, call another sucker to the ring who needs education by a country kid come to conquer the world. Ernie Terrell came for a fight and arrived at school. My name is Professor. My name is Mr. Griot Pugilist the First. My name gonna always be history, always the future when you say it right. Muhammad Ali, worthy of all praises, most high. Fight fans came to see the unification of boxing's world heavyweight championship, but Ernie Terrell's contempt and own self-hate turned prize fight into a holy war.
See, I know you're going to hate me, but the truth is safety is just an illusion. Why the confusion? I mean, what is a lock when your windows are made of glass and your landscaping got bricks? I mean, what is an institution if it could be burned down? And I got gasoline prayers in my dragon breath, which is to say, you should be happy I choose to burn down mics and not buildings. You have mistaken your privilege for safety, but the cops can't unbeat your ass when they get here. If my trigger finger wasn't always wrapped around a pen, you'd learn that a Kevlar vest can't keep you from getting your mind blown. You can call anything a safe space, but you better hope it's not built under a Dylan roof. You might bow your head in prayer and find out the truth. That safety is just an illusion. Why the confusion? You could build a concrete castle, but inside will still feel like a prison. You can hold on to all your memories and somehow still lose your mind. You could lose your faith in your religion, because what's a God to a non believer? You could believe in anything, like love. Write your own vows and then lose everything in the divorce, realizing the truth that safety is just an illusion. Why the confusion? See, this country got sold to a billionaire that ain't from here. White supremacy put your safety up for sale, sold your labor at a discount. I'd say it was rigged, but no one asked for a recount. What's a peaceful transfer of power when it's been abused anyway? Don't you know the truth? That your safety is just an illusion. Why the confusion? No, really. Why are you confused?
The awful secret is I have nothing to give. I don't want anything either. Like a cheap cigar I burnt out a long time ago. I told myself, something will come up, just keep going. But like a cheap used car, the price of gas is just too high. Can you really put a number on it, though? What do hopes and dreams cost? Huh? What's the price of freedom? In the end, all I have is a prayer. And while we're at it, can you put a number on God? My awful secret is I can. 0. Do you believe in angels? 'Cause these damn fairies won't leave me alone. Here they come, knocking stuff around my home. But sometimes when I close the door, I'm truly alone. And for a second, the chaos is postponed. And those days I look at the floor, life's too quiet, now I'm bored. Then I'll go back to them, back to the Fae, back to before.
My dreams haunt me in color. I keep seeing myself trying to outrun my death. Just another evening with my complexion, fighting to keep the brown in my face. And somehow I pale to escape the notion of being haunted by my demons. Monsters that show up, scare in the face, blue flame heated, staring out at me. Wintergreen envy of my simply breathing, charging like the cloud streaming angry bull nostrils, haunting the purple out of a king. Though I haven't seen the red of my blood run burgundy at their hands inside of a dream yet, their ivory fangs chase the yellow, streaking my spine like white lines down a skunk's back, and it stinks the color of sewage water, fearing the success of my dreams. My shade of black skin becoming the background, swallowed up in the dark of night. The once bright sole of my sneaker bottoms drowned in the muck of mud, quicksanding me, while silver bullets skim past my head from faded fistfuls of barrels pointing my way, toss turning my fight to survive. The Sandman wins again, and somehow it rains each time I find my silhouette captured in their aim, while they draw tan straws to see who is worthy to blaze the smokish gray out of my sprinting cloud. I find my way to this wood grain door repetitively, but the blue eye in the peephole won't let me in, and I run again, finding a forest green bush big enough to hide inside of, praying the stamping feet of my goals don't find me, poking out on either end. As I become the brown eyes in the bushes, staring eerily out at evil, I look like them. I dream vividly in color, like a black and white horror film, and I pray I never die in my sleep, bleeding out in a rainbow of color, like a paintbrush dipped in a cup of water, attempting to cleanse itself.
And not harsh enough? Well, then starch them cuffs. I sort of like their sofa. I like their cars and stuff. I turn them in by lunchtime, then grab their favorite chair. They'll be cleared out by 11. They'll be cluttering up the jail. Repudiating humanism. It's a mechanistic age with compulsory church attendance, public prayers now all the rage. Everyone wears their AI watchers. Best don't leave home without it, Nacho. Even at bedtime, be no more a whisperer. You better shout about it, mister. Keep your batteries all charged up. Sure, it's only a misdemeanor. Never doubt it. Just shut up. But if you're caught without it, oh, my dear, you'll learn just what exactly it is when your ears and fingertips most assuredly feel the burn. And when your street block captain checks your record out online, if your watch refused to shine, you'll be emailed, brother, one big healthy fine. No more lawn boys at the neighbors. All the gardening will be done for white folks by prison labor. All the teachers and professors, no more highfalutin mental letters. No more colleges or universities. There'll be no more thinking there are betters. We emptied them all. We ain't got no more need. The doctor all work for insurance. If you're poor, you'll need endurance. The whole thing runs on greed. I've turned in all my neighbors. They were a suspicious lot. And when they left, we gathered up all the things they bought. We got great employment surges, though it's centered at a few select and favorite churches. Everyone must sign up for compulsory attendance. No more private morality. Them, on the other hand, you'll never more be friendless. And when the churchy state rightward lurches, you'll see attendance capped at churches. And when the church enforcers at the door hand out the new commandments, you better hope he'll still sign your churchy list attendance. So many hours of prayer each day. You'll need to get your card stamped by a neighbor anyway. You'll have to buy the leader's picture. It's mandatory, you don't say, or else you'll get a lecture. They'll check on their next visit the very next day. They'll be downloading your prayer history. How fervent are your studies? The latest revision of the sacred trumptations mysteries, the latest definition of religion. And after they rounded up the brown ones and the political media clown ones, the Dems were next, and the rhinos, they're all hexed. Into the gulags, all them proud, profound ones may have their collars stretched. Them college professors were gathered to stand before the state confessors. Every classroom has its Bible belt, and should you without your homework be caught, you'll be positioned. That'll be a stressor. Unless you offered a hefty bribe for a while, before you wander back to your tribe. School now renounces formal learning. Didn't you smell all those books a-burning? Not much left for discerning students been carrying books for study. That isn't prudent. Best to be an athlete now. All them art and music classes are long lost and over. Boy, and how. Idiocracy is the new ideal. No more transgender surgery. That was never real. No more punishment for perjury. No more stool pigeons with a big reveal. All them January 6th prisoners have been knighted. All the choral hoodlums are delighted. And then once a year they climb the dome to remind us all that Donnie's home.
I walk these Bronx streets, graffiti-clad whispers tattooed on crumbling brick walls, where the air carries the aroma of savory fried pasteles and bold garlic knots, a collage of my two worlds. Half Sicilian, half Borincano Taino, a descendant of the sun and the seas, two bloodlines that scrap and tarantella under my skin. My voice is the Arawak rhythm of reggaeton and a Sicilian ballad, a drumbeat that calls out to the coqui frogs and echoes of Mount Etna's fiery exhalations. In the city that birthed hip-hop and hustle, I'm the bridge, the crossroad, a mosaic of contradictions and connections. They ask me, what are you? Like I owe them a neat little box. Am I the spicy sofrito or the sharp marinara? Am I the bronze sun-kissed skin or olive-hued legacy? The answer is yes, and both, neither, and everything in between. My abuelo's same hands that once one-hit wondered men on Three Kings Day told stories of epiphanies while becoming calloused from planting cassava roots in foreign soils. My nonna's prayers to St. Agatha hung heavy in the kitchen, woven into hand-rolled pasta and rosary beads blessed by candlelight and holy water. I carry their strength like heirlooms, a seamstress's patchwork of resilience, stitched into my very name. Both sides of my family wield the power of the saints and the sinners. Santeria whispers through my veins, invoking Orishas with every heartbeat, while Bruja chants curl like sage plumes and incense ribbons in my lungs. Candle magic lights the way through shadowed alleys and tenement hallways. We call on the spirits of the warriors while clutching rosaries to ward off Malocchio. Don't ask me if I'm mafia related. We are Cosa Nostra. We move in silence, but thicker than wine. Traditions pass like secrets under the dinner table. We're the warriors the colonizers feared then and still do. Shields of Taino gold, swords forged in Sicily's volcanic lavas. We survive ships, borders, and betrayals to build enduring legacies on these Bronx streets of asphalt and dreams. And on these streets, I'm the bass in the bachata song, the gravel in a Sinatra tune, finding La Bamba's heart-thundering harmony amid the city's chaos. I'm a product of bodegas and bakeries, corner stores and stoop dreams. The Bronx skyline is my Sistine Chapel. Let me show you how to hold two worlds in one body, how to dance between ganepa trees and cobblestones, to weave a tapestry of cultures that sing in defiance. I am a flame that refuses to flicker out. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, their rebellion, their survival. And though my tongue trips on Spanish and my Sicilian curses don't come as quick, I am enough, a child of the diaspora, a story waiting to be told. I stand here, not broken, but whole, a blend, a bridge, a boogie down Bronx-born masterpiece.
Oh, crab rangoon. You fill me up with fulfillment with your filling face plants onto a field of my taste buds. Every time I have you inside my oral cavern, I cannot help but want to crush you with my stalagmite teeth and swallow you into my abyss while I enjoy feeling you disintegrate slowly under my pressure as you slide all the way down to the pit of my being. Oh, Crab Rangoon. You perfectly highly addictive yet perfectly legal drug. Oh, yes, I said drug. Have you ever eaten one and not feel dopamine and serotonin flood through every mini vessel in your being with the utmost sense of culinary nirvana? Oh, Crab Rangoon, you are the Asian equivalents of Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. In life, there should be only two universal defining periods: life before and after accepting Crab Rangoon as your Lord, Savior, and demigod. Oh, Crab Rangoon, you miracle of life. If you were made in your original pure form, the pharmaceutical industry would cease to exist because you cure all. I'll never forget that time I had that stomach ache, and you, with your crunchy exterior and your cheesy, creamy, crabby holiness. Oh, Crab Rangoon, you are the body of Christ. Your healing powers influenced me to start an underground street fighting club called Crab Rangoon Club. And damn, the first rule of Crab Rangoon Club is that we definitely talk about Crab Rangoon Club. Oh, Crab Rangoon, the joy and despair of all, how they rewrote the history books. You, Crab Rangoon, every 80s power ballad and 70s adult film was inspired by you in some way by your rich, sexual white chocolate. Oh, Crab Rangoon, I'm a goon for you. Always have and always will. Being with you gives me a warm, nostalgic feeling to a time when I was a more complete human being. A tender sense of familiarity looking into your eyes brings forth a a swarm of dope butterflies that swells up my insides as I fly sky high all the way up to cloud 9. You're so sublime, so fine, so divine. You don't even know how fine of a dime you are. I want to gaze into your eyes under the moon and stars, getting lost, finding passion larger than the size of Mars, that eclipse any and all scar tissue memories, meteors, with the potential of finding true love much easier. Now, how dope would it be if we could see if how it could be if we can agree to be a wee bit closer to a degree, to see how it could be if we could plant this seed and watch it turn into a solid oak tree, symbolizing our unity as we branch out to infinity. If I boldly entrust you with the key to my heart, that's me saying that I'll cherish you beyond the point I depart from this realm. As long as we keep things heart to heart, our love has the potential to brush strokes of rainbow art on the canvas of the world around us and jumpstart a revolution in our hearts as we strive for state of the art love.
Haiku number 57. Quarantine. You are only stuck inside because you are stuck inside. In May of 1941, at the age of 12, Martin Luther King Jr. asked his parents if he can go to a parade. They said no. And like any preteen, his curiosity coerced him to go despite his parents' disapproval. When he returned home, he discovered that his grandma had died from a heart attack. And at that moment, his heart must have swallowed an elephant. I can only imagine how heavy that must have felt. So his guilt made him feel like he didn't want to live, like that cross was too big for his young shoulders to bear. Like, I don't want to be awake. I'd rather dream. So in an attempt to commit suicide, he went upstairs and jumped from the second-story window of his house like an angel who gave up his wings. He was hurt, but he survived. On September 20th, 1958, while on a book tour, signing copies of his book, Stride Towards Freedom, King was approached by a young lady who asked if he was Martin Luther King Jr. And when he said yes, she said, "I've been looking for you for 5 years." She then pulled out a letter opener and stabbed him in the chest. It took the doctors 3 hours to remove it because the tip of the blade was a hair from his heart. His heart must have been sweating bullets. Heavy, like I don't know how much more I can take. Because if he would have took one deep breath, the point of the blade would have punctured his heart and he would have drowned in his own blood. He was hurt, but he survived. On April 4th, 1968, At the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, Martin stood on that balcony of the second floor, hoping to get some fresh air, not knowing that was going to be his last breath. But with his 39 years of breathing, he had been asking America for equality, and America said no. But you know how those revolutionary activists are, never taking no for an answer. But rebellion comes with consequence when men and women are made martyrs, where you only see mountaintops in your dreams. That's why he kept Selma in his stride, a Bible by his side, and a 22 on his tongue. But he knew his time had come to feel his body hit the floor, and at that moment, his heart must have became a boulder. I can only imagine how heavy his heart must have felt. The thoughts running through his mind like, why are my people free, but we're still slaves? How come they stick their dogs on us and we just marching? What do we really have to do to get judged by our character? I know he had to have asked, was it all worth it? I wonder if he felt like he should just jump down from that balcony. I know he probably knew that you can only dodge the bullet for so long. What happens when your purpose serves its purpose, when destiny dances its last two-step, when that bullet stops the music, when you realize it is your time? We'd rather be dreaming than to be awake in this reality. Because this reality was Sean Bell, the ringing of your freedom. It will Rosa Parks your will to move, but you got to move. No matter how heavy your heart is. Let America know what resilience looks like, that you are more than house servants and tree ornaments, that you are more perseverance than plantation. Let them know that there's a king in your heart, a mountain in your movement. And when it comes to your freedom, never take no for an answer.